Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary peoples. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary fantasy football talk for Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. This will be my waiver wire video for week 9. We have 6 teams on bye this week. They are the Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Denver Broncos from the AFC. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers, and New York Giants from the NFC. So 6 teams. A big bye week. Week 9 has always been one of the bigger bye weeks because of it's right in mid-season. So that's when a lot of teams prefer it. So you might be needing some players to cover some bye weeks. I got a list of 15 for you at 4 different spots. I got a lot to do today. No car to do it. Not sure when I'm going to get a car to do it again because I'm hoping it's just my thermostat, and I'm going to, maybe try to fix it myself later, even though I have no idea what I'm doing. Apparently, people say it's an easy fix. Online says it's an easy fix. It takes a couple hours. Blah, blah, blah. But if I can't get it done, I have an appointment tomorrow morning to get it looked at, and it cost me a lot of money. And, it was really stressful because it's not like I, worked a whole lot last week and haven't been able to work yet this week. And UPS isn't paying me right. So, and they're kind of jerking me around too. So I had to call in today because I was going to stay up. I'm always ambitious, always like, I'll just walk. Not that hard of a walk. I need exercise anyway. But then when the time comes, it's 1:15 in the morning. I'm waking up. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not walking 9 miles at this time of day. So I don't do it. I don't have lift money till Thursday. It's just bad timing with this car stuff. Like, I was going to use this month to get ahead, but it looks like this month is going to be me staying afloat. I was hoping this car was going to last till at least January, but I don't know if it will, because there's a big puddle of, I don't know if it's just from the water. The water makes, oil puddles look bigger, but there's a big puddle of oil, fresh oil under my car today. I don't know what the hell. I know it leaks. It's leaked since I bought it, but it hasn't been that big of a leak. That's a big leak. Yeah, lots of things to do today. It's Tuesday, it's payday, errands day. I'm on my way to get some lunch now, I guess, since I don't have any food, because I didn't want to do any major grocery shopping because I was going on vacation. And so I was planning on doing it today when I was back and got paid and had a car, but I probably will still end up going grocery shopping. I'm just going to end up walking, which is not that far of a walk. I've done it several times in my life and several times since I've lived here, but it just makes it hard to carry multiple. I can't buy as much groceries as I would if I had a car. So I got to get some stamps. I'm out of stamps because of all the postcards I send to Eugene from Victoria every week. Yeah, I'm a little bummed out today. This weather sucks. My car is starting to suck. I'm also feeling the post-vacation, blues all coming at once. I wish when I was younger I had learned more stuff about cars, because I should have. My dad, my uncle, my brother, all into it, loved it. When I was a kid, I just didn't. I guess I just had some trauma for that. didn't want to learn new things because it was just, I felt stupid. My dad had no patience to teach me things, and it was like, so he just made me feel dumb and unwanted. So I always had a hard time learning new things, especially around my parents. So these things I'm having to learn now in my 20s, 30s, because I didn't learn them as a kid, makes me feel emasculated a little bit, like not a normal person. But also, it's nice to have professionals do it because you get paperwork. So when you try to resell the thing, you can verify that this stuff was done, but it also costs a lot of money. And yeah, so I'm probably going to try to fix the thermostat, even though, because apparently it's pretty cheap to just go buy one. So if I'm out $8-10 to buy one, whatever. But I have an appointment in the morning, so I figure out how I'm going to get to work in the morning, because I don't want to call in again, because I called out Saturday too. So I called out Saturday and yesterday and today. Also, might try to get my bike fixed. I haven't done it because it's such an inconvenience to carry the stupid bike down to the bike shop and get it fixed. Even though it's a light bike, I still don't want to carry it, half-hour walk away. But I might have to, because that might be how I'm getting to work tomorrow. Because it's a really nice ride, even when it's raining. It's a nice ride across the bridge going into Portland. Coming back sucks because the bridge is uphill, but I can catch the bus back if I want to, because the buses will run during the day. They don't run overnight. But anyway, let's get to it. I'm like halfway through my walk, haven't even started. Let's start with the quarterbacks. 2 quarterbacks if you're looking to replace Dak Prescott or Russell Wilson or Daniel Jones. Those are probably the only guys you really need to replace. 2 guys. Justin Fields tops the list. He's a very Tim Tebow-esque, very bad real-life quarterback, very good fantasy quarterback, or decent fantasy quarterback. Kind of like what we all thought Jalen Hurts was before Philadelphia went out and got him some wide receivers. Maybe things will change for Justin Fields. The Bears did just acquire Chase Claypool. They still do have Darnell Mooney, so maybe things will change. I'm not a Justin Fields believer. Maybe I'm biased because he plays for the Bears. Maybe I'm biased because he went to Ohio State, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out for him. But he's a good fantasy quarterback. And then Taylor Heineke could be a decent streamer for you against my Vikings this week as well. Next, let's do tight ends. I got 4 for you. Tyler Conklin, very much back on the radar after his huge performance against the Patriots. They'll be playing the Bills this week. So they could be having to throw the ball a lot. So that should bode well for guys like Tyler Conklin and Garrett Wilson. And possibly Elijah Moore, because he did not get traded. And I thought that would be a target for the Packers. But the Packers do not like to make trades for whatever reason. They don't like to acquire veterans. They like to build through the draft, which there's nothing wrong with that. Problem is when you fancy yourself a Super Bowl contender, you got to make moves. And the Packers don't like to do that. That's why they don't win as often as they probably should have in the past 25 years. Evan Engram with the Jaguars, who was a guy I was almost going to put on my list last week and probably should have because he had another good week. He's looking like the number 2 guy in that Jacksonville passing game, which isn't saying a whole lot. Because Trevor Lawrence, despite his struggles, is still a top 10 fantasy quarterback in most leagues right now. But Evan Engram should be a priority for you if you're looking for a tight end to replace one of those guys on those 6 teams. And then Brock Wright will be the new tight end one for the Lions. He's been pretty productive when given the opportunities, though they've been pretty limited. And he is dealing with a concussion himself, but he should probably be good to go for Sunday's game against the Packers. And then if you're a Mark Andrews owner specifically, you should probably be targeting Isaiah Likely, because if you're a Mark Andrews owner, you probably only have one tight end because you have an elite one like Mark Andrews. But there's a chance Mark Andrews might miss this game. And Isaiah Likely had a really productive day with Mark Andrews out. And with how much Lamar Jackson loves to rely on his tight ends, Isaiah Likely could probably be due for another big week if Mark Andrews misses time. So he's probably a pretty safe pickup for you if you have Mark Andrews specifically. But if you don't have Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely might still be worth picking up just in case Mark Andrews does miss the game. So happy waiver wire hunting to you there. Let's do wide receivers next. I have 4, starting with Rondale Moore. He had a pretty decent day against my Vikings because for some reason we could not cover him. We really struggled to cover, we struggled to cover both Arizona wide receivers, but DeAndre Hopkins is understandable because he's a future Hall of Fame guy. But Rondale Moore, for some reason, could not tackle that guy. So he had that big touchdown, had a few big plays, but there's no denying that Rondale Moore is talented. And, we've just been waiting to see him healthy and productive, and he's now both. So he's worth picking up. He should be probably the number 1 waiver wire priority wide receiver because he's by far the most reliable option available in most leagues. And then Jahan Dotson has been dropped a lot because he's been out for a few weeks, but there's potential he could be back this week. And we've seen how productive he can be when he's out there on the field. Definitely has a knack for scoring touchdowns. He's proven that early in his career. So he's a guy who's very talented, and if healthy, if active, needs to be rostered. And then both Chargers wide receivers. I'm going to finish this video before I go get my nacho fries for lunch, because I want something cheap. Because I don't have anything at home. Like I said, I haven't gone grocery shopping yet. And I'm not looking to spend $15 on a freaking meal because that's the going rate around here these days because of inflation. So nacho fries, I can get, the nacho fries box, which is by far the best menu item Taco Bell has. Has all the good stuff. You get the nacho fries, you get the cheese, you get the Doritos taco, you get the 5-layer burrito, you get the chicken chalupa, which are like my 5 favorite things on the menu, all in one box. So it's worth it to me to spend the $8-9 for that. It's really the only time I go to Taco Bell is when they have nacho fries on the menu. But so both Chargers wide receivers, because Mike Williams is out and Keenan Allen still questionable. Who knows if Keenan Allen will play? He's been very unreliable this year. So Joshua Palmer, who also is questionable but probably will play, and DeAndre Carter could both be in for massively elevated roles this week. So they might both be worth taking a flyer on, if for nothing else than depth purposes, or just to see how they do before you start them in week 10. Running backs, I got 5 for you. My top target is going to be Khalil Herbert. He's definitely forcing the issue in Chicago. They're going to have to start giving him more touches and go running back by committee, which will probably hurt David Montgomery's numbers a little bit. It's going to bring his volume down from running back 2 level to flex territory, but they're both going to be good flex plays. They're both the 2 best offensive weapons the Bears have, honestly, so they should just be relying on them very heavily. I like them both moving forward. Khalil Herbert's my top running back priority for the week. Then Isaiah Pacheco, still listed as a starter for the Chiefs. We'll see how that all plays out after the bye. It's definitely a mess, but Isaiah Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Both worth rostering. Jerick McKinnon, not quite so much, even though he does get more snaps. He doesn't really do anything with his snaps. He's kind of just out there to block. Next, Chuba Hubbard. Even though he's clearly the running back 2 in Carolina, he does have enough of a role to be worth flex consideration. If he does play this week, he is questionable. It's a possibility he misses time. But we do have IR spots on our roster. Doesn't hurt to use them. So Chuba Hubbard could be worth picking up. Nyheim Hines, coming off his best week of the season. There was some trade chatter. I don't think he got traded. I didn't see anything about it before I left, and I think the deadline is over now. But should still have a pretty decent role for the Colts with the QB change. You know, bodes well that in the Colts' first start with Sam Ehlinger, Nyheim Hines had his best game of the season. So we hope that can continue, especially if we're adding him tomorrow. And then Kyren Williams, the rookie for the Rams, hasn't played yet. But with the disaster that the Rams backfield is currently, there's a lot of hype around Kyren Williams. There was a lot of hype coming into the draft. A lot of people thought that he was drafted way too low. I remember him in Notre Dame. He's pretty damn good. He's just really small. So the size might be an issue. But the talent is there. And he could, if he plays, there's a possibility he could be activated for this game in Week 9. He should have an immediate role on third downs as a pass-catching back. Dump-off guy for Matthew Stafford when he's under pressure, because that offensive line is not doing him any favors this year. So Kyren Williams could have an immediate role if activated, because the Cam Akers experiment is over, and I'm surprised he wasn't traded today. But I think teams just know the Rams are just going to cut him. Like, I don't know why these teams announce, hey, we're trying to trade this guy, but if we don't trade him, we're going to cut him. Because teams are not going to give up anything for the player if they know that they could just get him off the street and give up nothing except for cash, after the team cuts him. So Cam Akers probably going to get cut. Darrell Henderson, for whatever reason, Sean McVay does not like him. He was the backup to some nobody off the street named Ronnie Rivers last week. Ronnie Rivers was not effective, whereas Darrell Henderson usually is, so I don't get it. But that's why there's a lot of hype around Kyren Williams coming into this week. A lot of potential there, and a lot of belief that he's going to be active for Week 9 and pay immediate dividends for people who pick him up. So Kyren Williams is another running back to consider on waivers tonight if you're needing some running back depth to replace some people on bye, because there's 6 teams again, remember, and then injuries also. I know Ezekiel Elliott was finally deemed out Sunday morning, which is very aggravating because we all knew he wasn't going to play all week. But because he was listed out on Sunday and the Cowboys are on bye this week, he can still be on your IR through this week. So if we need some depth to replace him, that's just one example. I'm sure there's other guys. That's your list. Those are your options. All right, I'm going to end this now. Peace, love, and nacho fries, which I'm about to eat. Good luck to you on waivers, and wish me luck, because I thought life was going well. Life was looking up. But there's always something. Always something's got to pop up and ruin things. So, yeah, if I hadn't taken that vacation this weekend to go see the game, if I hadn't opted to enjoy my damn life, I'd have plenty of money to deal with my car right now. Because I also got to pay my rent, which I was already told my landlord I was going to be a week late because of my trip. But yeah, so now I got rent to pay and car payment. Rent to pay and a car to deal with. So it'll be a rough couple of weeks. So thank God I wasn't planning any vacations this month. Although I did kind of, if the weather was going to cooperate, I did want to go on some road trips or something to some places around here, but well, that's life as an adult. Nice to have a dual income household like most people I know. All right, bye. I'm hungry. I got shit to do and I'm stressing out. So, peace.